Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have discussed plans for their show, Live with Kelly and Mark, to move for quite a while. At times, the two have even shared doubts it would happen. However, recent events suggest the move is sooner than anticipated, if not already underway. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos recently shared a pre-recorded St. Patrick's Day episode with fans. Live with Kelly and Mark originated with the morning show back in 1983. However, Kelly Ripa joined the show in 2001, with her real-life husband joining as her co-host in 2023. Recently, Mark and Kelly celebrated St. Patrick's Day, aired an episode in honor of St. Patrick's Day, in which the two appeared dressed in green, as is the holiday tradition. Notably, the episode was pre-recorded, instead of the show's usual live tapings. The daytime talk show had been running out of ABC's studios in New York's Upper West Side. However, the studio is now believed to be moving to a new Disney studio in Hudson Square, west of Soho. Now, Mark and Kelly have it explicitly confirmed that the move is currently happening. However, a recent news story suggests the move is underway. As previously reported, journalist Deborah Roberts recently shared a post on Instagram where she said her goodbyes to the Upper West Side studio. Notably, during the post, she shared, "Friday finish. Nearly 3 decades after I first set foot in the ABC News headquarters as a new correspondent, the youngest to join the 2020's team, we are officially saying goodbye to the building." Ripa previously shared she didn't feel the live move would really happen. At the time, Roberts touched on the various figures she encountered over the years. As she shared, the place where network TV legends walked the halls and delivered the news. "I was thrilled and a bit nervous to join Barbara, Hugh, Peter, Carol, Joan, Charlie, and a cadre of inimitable correspondents. What a moment." Ripa and Consuelos shared the news of Live with Kelly and Mark's own move back in October. However, Ripa showed some skepticism at the time, believing it would take a while for the move to happen. As noted by Hello magazine, Ripa shared, "You and I went down to tour the new studios because apparently our show is finally moving to a new location. But that's not going to happen for some time, and I don't believe it's going to happen." However, Consuelos responded, No, it's happening." Still, Ripa felt, "I'll probably still be here." "I don't believe it's happening," Consuelos himself mused. "This place has been sold for 10 years. At the time, Ripa then joked, "Apparently we're moving downtown to this fancy state-of-the-art studio in Soho. Soho, where we used to live, which would have been convenient for us. But as soon as we moved to the Upper East Side, now we want to move to Soho. Okay, whatever." After over 2 decades of laughter, eye rolls, celebrity gossip, and perfectly timed sarcasm, the unthinkable might be happening on Live with Kelly and Mark. Fans are holding their breath and clutching their coffee mugs as whispers swirl around the set. Is Kelly Ripa finally leaving the show she's called home for more than half her career? For years, Kelly has been the morning talk show's vibrant heartbeat. Through co-host changes, set overhauls, and countless Kelly versus Mark on-air debates, she's stood firm, even famously saying, "I'll leave when they pry the mug out of my cold, dead hands." But during this week's episode, something shifted, and it wasn't just the lighting. It started with a silence. The moment came during the show's host chat segment, a space usually reserved for casual banter, marital confessions, or who snored louder the night before. But this time, the tone was oddly reflective. Kelly, sipping from her signature oversized coffee cup, took a deep breath before saying, "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately." Mark looked up from his cue card, immediately sensing the shift. "Oh boy," he said. "Are we about to get introspective on a Thursday morning?" Kelly smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. "Maybe. Or maybe I'm just finally admitting that there's a little voice in my head I've been ignoring for a long time." The audience quieted. Mark leaned in. "Okay, I'm listening. America's listening." "I don't know what this means yet," Kelly began. "But for the first time in a long time, I've been wondering what my life might look like without this show. The studio gasped, and so did Twitter. The silence that followed was deafening. The usually chatty studio audience fell still. Mark blinked. Once. Twice. Wait. Are you saying what I think you're saying? He asked. Kelly gave a half nod. I'm saying, I don't know how many more seasons are left in me. It wasn't an official announcement. There was no confetti, no countdown clock. But it was enough to send shockwaves through the fandom. Within minutes, hashtags like hashtag Kelly Leading Live and hashtag Indofinera began trending. Longtime viewers posted teary tributes, throwback clips, and emotional memes. This can't be real. She said she'd never leave. What's happening? One fan posted. Another wrote, if Kelly Ripa actually leaves, I'm going to need bereavement leave. Mark Consuelos reacts on air. And off Mark, ever the supportive husband, tried to play it cool, but anyone watching could tell he was stunned. You've never said anything like this, he said softly. Kelly replied, that's because I didn't let myself say it out loud. But lately, I think I've been craving something different, something quieter. The moment got even more emotional when Mark, clearly trying to keep it together, said, you've given everything to this show. You've earned the right to ask yourself, what's next? Backstage sources later claimed Mark stayed behind after the taping to speak with producers, leading to even more speculation that a transition might already be in motion. The road to this moment. Kelly Ripa joined Live in 2001, replacing Kathy Lee Gifford alongside Regis Philbin. She's since survived multiple co-host changes, including Michael Strahan's controversial exit and Ryan Seacrest's emotional farewell. Through it all, she remained the constant, quick-witted, fearless, and utterly relatable. In recent years, fans have noticed subtle shifts. Kelly's frequent references to burnout, needing more sleep, or imagining beach life have hinted at possible restlessness. Still, she repeatedly reassured everyone that she had no plans to leave. I'll be here long after you're sick of me, she joked in 2022. But time, as they say, changes everything. What's behind the change? Sources close to the show suggest several factors may be influencing Kelly's change of heart. Empty nest syndrome. With all 3 of her children grown and flown, Kelly may be reassessing her identity beyond TV host and mom. Life outside the studio. Her new docuseries with Mark, her writing projects, and upcoming book tour have shown she's got plenty of creative energy that doesn't require a daily 5 a.m. call time. The big studio move. The recent move to a massive 1.2 million square foot studio space. Billed as a new chapter for Live, may have ironically cemented for Kelly that she's ready to turn the page. She kept joking that the studio was so big she'd get lost and never come back, one crew member said. Now we're all wondering if that was foreshadowing. Is a successor lined up? That's the million-dollar question, and if there's a plan, producers are keeping it under wraps. One name that keeps popping up in fan theories? Ryan Seacrest. Despite moving on, his chemistry with Kelly was undeniable, and he's no stranger to the live format. Others are rooting for Kelly's bestie and frequent guest co-host, Anderson Cooper. Kelly and Anderson is the dream team we deserve, one viewer tweeted. Still, others say Mark Consuelos should continue solo, or perhaps bring in rotating co-hosts until the right fit appears. But no one really wants to imagine Live without Kelly Ripa. Kelly's final words, for now. As Thursday's episode wrapped, Kelly returned to the topic one last time. I just want to be clear. I'm not announcing anything today, she said. But I've always promised to be honest with you guys. And today, that honesty means saying, I might not be here forever. The audience responded with a long, supportive round of applause. Mark reached for her hand across the table. Whatever you decide, I'll support you. Unless you leave me to host with Gilman. Then we'll have a problem. Laughter returned, but the message was clear. A new chapter is coming. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not this season. But the door is cracked open. What happens next? Whether it's a graceful retirement, a book tour de tour, or a temporary break disguised as creative time, Kelly Ripa's future is no longer a given. But one thing is certain, when she does decide to step away, it won't be with a whimper. It'll be with a bang, a mic drop, and probably a dance move or two. Until then, we'll keep tuning in. Just in case. Because if this is the beginning of the end, we're not ready, but we'll be grateful for every last coffee-fueled second.